Welcome to Inside the Challenge. I have with me now Kayla Brown, the founder and principal of Bold Workshop Architecture. Kayla, thank you for joining.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
And so Kayla's going to talk about rural construction and the challenges associated with that and how it led her down the path ultimately to an ICF foundation and a project she's going to describe. So Kayla, I'm going to stop talking. The floor is yours, or the screen is yours, or however we want to say it. You're up.
Okay, perfect. I am gonna share my screen here.
Sure.
Just figuring out how to do that.
That's okay.
Oh, here we go. Got it. Okay, so I'm gonna share my full screen. And here it is. Let me know when you can see it.
Yep.
Okay,
There it is.
so this is the community, and it's called Carraig Ridge, and this is a rural community west of Calgary. It's got 44 lots in total, and we're actually working on the fourth build right now. So the development team for the community, which is they're called XYC Design. They created the governing design philosophy for Carrick Ridge, which is a focus on land conservation, environmental stewardship, and thoughtful curated design. So each specific home is crafted to respond to the specific topography, vegetation, and views of the site and the neighboring properties to ensure that it complements and supports rather than dominates the landscape. So this right here is the rock house that exists on the site, and that was designed by Cutler Anderson. So really, really cool project. And I'll just scroll through some of these images to let you see the vibe of Carrick Ridge. So it's located near Ghost Lake,
Mhm.
which is very, very close. You can see to the Rocky Mountains
Mhm.
and, west of Calgary. And the closest kind of satellite community is Cochrane. And the proximity is like it's pretty close actually. It's almost like a 15-minute drive. And so there's a lot of properties available, obviously, because I just said we're building the fourth.
Yeah.
And so if everyone's interested, I like this is the one that we're working on right now, Wandering Stones. It's
Yep.
in pre-sale stages, and that's the one I'm going to talk to you guys about today. But I encourage everyone who's listening in to go check it out. It's a really, really beautiful idea and a beautiful concept. And so basically, digging into the the retreat categories, that's what they're called. So there's four different retreat categories, and they're basically different development strategies for designing houses that engage with their immediate topography and the landscape in order to take advantage of those beautiful Rocky Mountain views that you can tell are right here,
Yep.
and then also the views to Ghost Lake and through the vistas towards Ghost Lake without interfering with sort of any primary views of neighboring lots.
Mhm.
And that's really, really important. And that's critical to remember for our design. And so the four different retreat types are forest, edge, meadow, and cliff. And so, like I said, each of the lots takes into consideration these like unique opportunities to inform the massing, siting, material choices, just so that they're harmonious and sensitive to the landscape. So our project is located in the meadow category. And this one is located, I actually have, I want to pull up some context photos that I took to give you a bit of an idea.
Yeah.
These are, these are right from the site. So you can get an idea of the meadow category. That's what it looks like. How beautiful is
Mhm.
that with the Rocky Mountains? Um, it's gorgeous. This is a very, very crisp winter day. This is how much snow we get here when it's when there's a Chinook and also on these hillsides because they actually get quite a lot of sun. So it's really, really beautiful in the winter. Um, and then this is the view to Ghost Lake, like I mentioned. So essentially, our house is located here, as you can see, and I'm kind of standing at the lot above. And so the Meadow Retreat is located on the front of the southern and western slope of the Carrick Ridge foothills, and there's nothing in front of them. So they enjoy these sort of breathtaking, uninterrupted panoramic views. And the Meadow Retreats are meant to be conceived as a single story sunk into the hill to maximize the views of the mountains and the lakes while minimizing the presence of the houses behind. So basically, we don't want our neighbors to have a big house in front of their view. So in order to realize these core values at Carraig Ridge in the Meadow Retreat, the Wandering Stones volumes are sunk into the hill at the back to minimize that impact on the landscape and the visual prominence of the house from behind. So I'm gonna show you sort of like what that looks like. So if you're up here, this is what our houses look like, which is exactly what they're supposed to look like. Like they're nothing there. So essentially, these are embed into the hillside. And so this is a long story to tell you that. Well, first, the context. We're outside of town, so we're outside of Calgary. It's
Yeah.
about 45 minutes to 55 minutes. We're pretty close to the satellite community that's called Cochrane.
Yeah.
However, the workforce in Cochrane is used to commuting to Calgary every day, and that's the regular cycle. That's what they do. Even though coming to Carraig Ridge is 15 minutes away, it's more like 30 minutes to Calgary from Cochrane. That's an upcharge to come, even though it's closer to us, because that's not the norm. They're used to going into Calgary every day, so that's what they do. So to get skilled trades and laborers and workers out to Carraig Ridge is more expensive
Is it
than
like
getting them to come
15?
to
Is it
Calgary.
30%? Like how much more on average?
It honestly, it totally depends on the
Varies.
the
Yeah.
trade and the skill
Yeah.
and how specific it is. Like if you want like the best marble setter, it's gonna be, I don't know, 200%. It just completely depends. It completely depends. So we've had luck with people that are very, very driven to create these uh, design forward thinking projects that want to work on them to come out and work with us. But or you just pay them a lot of money, or you probably do both.
Right.
But people that are driven by a challenge or like want to work on these design forward thinking houses, they they want to come out here. So, okay. So we're out of town in Calgary. We have a lack of skilled trades in our country, as we know in general. But now we're rural and we have a double lack. And so remote construction just has these challenges. And a way to, you know, work within the context of the Meadow Retreat category or lot type, and also the fact that we have limited access to skilled laborers that want to come out here, or it's going to be very, very expensive. We had to make a decision on the construction type at Wandering Stones House. And so we opted to use ICF foundations for the entire project. So ICFs, I'm gonna show you what those look like. They stand for Insulated Concrete Formwork.
Yep.
And they're like these little Lego blocks, and they are essentially replacing a typical rebar concrete foundation.
Yep.
And we're embedded in the hill. So we thought, let's do the whole thing out of ICF. You don't need the skilled trades to put this together. And we are half embed into the hillside. It makes sense. Well, yes, it does, but it also came with like quite a lot of challenges. So I wanted to, yeah, show you just some images of sort of what these look like. And I also wanted to show you I'll show you in the renderings, and then I'll show you some images of the build of how you can see that the houses are, or the volumes of the house are sunk into the back in the hillside. So like very, very, a small amount of the house at the one side is coming out of the ground.
Yeah. Well, half of it.
Exactly half
Half
of it,
that
and it
wall.
kind of exactly half of that wall. I'll show you too. I have our drawings here. I wanted to show you the site plan. So this is the main road within the community, and our garage is located here, and these are the two house volumes, and you can see the topography lines kind of coming down. And I just wanted to show as well to show how thick these walls are. So you can add that up, right? We usually have just an 8-inch concrete wall with insulation on the interior side. Sometimes you'll put rigid, but you can see how thick this wall is. And so with ICF, um, what what that did for our sort of cladding system choices and installing electrical and making sure the walls were straight and everything was just like infinitely more challenging. You're very, very limited to cladding options, and you have to have strapping on the exterior
Mhm.
of the ICF tied into the concrete. So you have to go all the way through, and you have to have another layer of strapping, and then you have to put your siding on top of that. And it's quite limiting what you can do. And what is also really challenging with ICF is marrying up the roof. Because what would you like to use? Would you like to use SIPs? Would you like to do traditional stick frame? And then when you consider the drainage, it just became very challenging. Anything that would be not even necessarily given a second thought in traditional wood frame construction, once we added the ICF into the entire structure, it challenged everything beyond a typical resolution. And you can see the intent. Like we have it's a complete wrap. It's a complete wrap. So we have a liquid applied sprayed on membrane with, you know, decorative, you can call them decorative, but decorative battens to align with in the exact same spot, wrapping down the front facade of a board and batten treatment. And so the reason that we have this is because we conceived as these volumes as like essentially three architectural erratics, like navigating down the hillside, creating this sculptural composition of simple volumes whose relation to each other and the surrounding topography creates sort of this visual complexity within a very, very restrained floor plan. So they're meant to be conceived of these like whole masses,
Mhm.
just this one piece. So it had to be literally seamless. Like we don't have like the gutters are concealed.
I was gonna say you have concealed gutters on
Yes,
there. See
yes, we
them.
have
Yeah.
concealed gutters. So can
Yeah.
you imagine the marrying up? So we ended up doing a typical, uh, I'll get through some more of these images here just to show you. So here they are, right? They
Mhm.
look so great, even without a roof on. But then I'm gonna show you the roof in a second. This is a view out of the bedroom window. It's really great. These are all, you know, cut in place
Yep.
to be perfect because there is only one move that we did on the outside, and it's wrap the whole thing consistently from sides to roof.
Yep.
So we ended up using TJI, a typical TJI with spray foam insulation. We went back and forth between this and SIPs and this and SIPs, and we ended up landing on this. So we have a typical cathedral roof. It's a cathedral roof with spray foam insulation.
Yep.
And you can see that these guys they stop a little short of the ICF wall because there's a concealed gutter there.
Yep.
It was a very, very challenging detail. It's still not done.
I'm sure.
It's
Yeah.
still not complete. And then here's our main beam for the ridge line and the roof in this is the ceiling, which is the roof. So you can see they're kind of like resting here on the ICF wall.
Hmm.
But essentially, yeah, the whole thing that I would ever talk about when we're speaking about it from a challenge perspective is just the challenge of the remote construction leading us to using the ICF foundation has a lot of benefits. Like it's got a great RSI, it got a great R value.
Yep.
It controls the sound inside and out, and The temperature is very, very constant when you're in the space. Like when you're in the space in the summer, you really like you don't need air conditioning.
Yeah.
You can't tell because it's just it's so well insulated. It's such a
Yeah.
good envelope. So there's a lot of pros, but then there also are some cons, some very real cons that we were up against.
I believe it.
And here you can see we've got the gutter.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to see. We've got
Exterior
the
is
gutter
bad.
here. It's not totally finished here. And
Yeah.
then we have our battens and they are marrying up with yet to be battens. And before you say anything, this is not our strap. We are not putting strapping going this way. This was to actually hold the building wrap down because it's so windy. It's
Yeah.
absolutely so windy. But
Yeah.
we had to do a double layer of strapping here in order to get our drainage right on the building paper. So
Kayla,
that's yes.
thank you. This is great.
Okay, great.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you for taking us through this. I mean, I can completely appreciate the challenges of what it would be like to work on managing this with with limited trade availability and potentially skilled trades. So I can see what you're up against.
Yeah, thank you.
And an ambitious design. It's beautiful.
Yeah, thank you. We're the cladding is going up right now and it's looking really nice.
Amazing. Well, thank you. Thank you for participating in this.
Yeah, thanks for having me.